Chloe's parents are always holding their 3-year-old's hand.
It's one of the few things that we actually get a physical response from. It's like 10 Christmases.
Anything that lets them know she's happy.
Her rate of development has slowed, almost to a standstill because of the seizure activity. Everything goes back to the seizure activity, her muscle tone, her development.
Chloe was diagnosed with a rare neurological condition when she was 6 days old. She has on average 100 seizures a day. When she was a year and a half old, doctors thought she'd die.
For 2 weeks, we actually thought they were right. And then the third week, she decided she was not going anywhere. And that's what we said, if she's not giving up, then we won't ever give up.
Diazepam, phenobarbital, carbamazepine.
Chloe takes 5 medications
Onfi,
3 times a day.
Propanol. She is on methadone every day.
To keep her from day-long seizures. Her parents had to sign a waiver for one medication because it could cause blindness.
Someone always has to be awake and next to her.
They recently learned the University of Colorado is studying a new drug for seizure patients.
They're doing things like sitting up, holding their head up, smiling. These things would be life-changing for us.
This will help any child and does not have the side effects like all these other drugs have.
But it's not quite legal.
It's an absolutely non-psychotropic form of it's closer to hemp than it is to actual marijuana.
In January, Chloe's grandmother went to Nashville to talk to state legislators about allowing studies of cannabidiol oil, similar to the University of Colorado's, in Tennessee.
When you use the term medical marijuana, and in the same sentence you've got young children, they shut down.
But it passed.
Vanderbilt was overseeing the project. Tennessee Tech was going to grow that strand of marijuana, and then they were going to pass it out to all the kids here in Tennessee, and Tennessee was going to try it.
But federal regulations put it all on hold. Now they're appealing to the federal government to pass a bill co-sponsored by Congressman Steve Cohen. It allows medical waivers to ship the cannabis oil over state lines.
It's a very complex issue. I had the same concerns when I started in this, so I understand that. I don't judge for that. But to help people understand and educate, that's the only way the bill is going to be passed.
It's leaving Chloe's parents so close, yet so far from just seeing their daughter smile.
You want to do anything, you would do anything. You would literally do anything to save the life of your child. And that's kind of where we are right now, The waiting is the hardest part.
And one day we will be able to try it, and we will be able to get those smiles and those little laughs that, a lot of people take for granted.
Reliving the experience.
It was love at first sight.
It's okay. I like talking about it. I think I sat in the dress for like 30 minutes and they were like, okay, time to go.
Her wedding dress.
I felt, I just felt like the one. You know how people try on dresses and they're like, oh, this is the one.
The dress was altered 3 times before the big day was approaching.
On Sunday, my ex-fiancé kind of sat me down and told me he was contemplating the idea of calling off the wedding.
Bride Shelby Swink shook it off as cold feet.
The next day came and he sat me down and was like, I'm just not in love with you and I don't want to marry you. And I don't want to spend the rest of my life with you.
It broke her heart, but didn't break her.
I didn't want to be that girl that everybody was tiptoeing around and like, oh, Shelby.
Shelby faced it all head on, starting with the dress.
And I sent her a Facebook message and I said, I don't know if this is something that you would even consider doing or if you would even be comfortable doing, but what about trash the dress?
At first I thought it was crazy because it is an expensive dress and I didn't really want to ruin it.
I said, would you like to do it on your wedding day?
I don't want to just spend my would-be wedding day sitting at home alone, eating ice cream and watching Netflix.
She's got it in her eye.
Paint, feathers, and glitter, surrounded by family and friends. Shelby gave her wedding dress new life.
My friend Carol just didn't even wait for Liz to say go. She just threw the paint on me. And at that moment, it was just literally everything, I just let it go. I was free, all the disappointment, all the hurt, I just felt it leave me.
Most women, I think, would be crushed be stopped by that. And it's that saying, when life gives you lemons, what do you do? And Shelby made a big old glass of freaking lemonade with it.
The Trash the Dress pictures turned up on a bridal blog.
Liz actually popped up a picture, this gorgeous, gorgeous picture of Shelby with this paint and I was mesmerized. I was like, this is amazing.
The Barefoot Bride Shop is now displaying Shelby's dress, giving a sea of white, a splash of color, and perspective.
I saw what she did to kind of get her feelings out and celebrate the day that would have been her wedding day as the day that is going to be the next chapter in her life. It made me want to have the dress in the shop to kind of remind girls that that's really what it's about. It doesn't matter what happens in life, as long as you stay true to yourself and don't dwell on the negativity and focus on the future, you're going to get through anything.
Native Ohioan Kevin Bezon always had a place in his heart for Memphis, thanks to his sister.
She would always listen to Elvis. I would always go to Graceland.
How many times have you been to Graceland?
Probably more than Elvis.
Little did the now 28-year-old realize how big a role Memphis would play in his life. At 11 months old, doctors diagnosed Kevin with medulloblastoma, a severe type of brain cancer.
One arrogant doctor said he didn't stand a snowball's chance of hell of making it. And I went to the chapel and got on my knees and said the Lord's Prayer and said, God, I've never lost a son, but I know you have. You have to help me through this.
Kevin and his family made 8 trips a month to St. Jude from Ohio before finally moving to Memphis. He's had 15 brain tumors, 50 surgeries, and countless rounds of chemotherapy. Through it all, he's remained an inspiration and source of optimism for everyone around him.
It was a wintry day and a blast of sleet and snow hit me in the face. And I looked down at Kevin to make a negative comment about the weather, and he looked up at me and said, "It's a beautiful day, isn't it, Dad?" And I said, "Yes, son, it's a beautiful day."
Dad, just keep your hopes up. Just because your glass for water doesn't mean don't let it spill over.
Kevin has given back all his life, from Elvis tribute performances at senior citizen centers and donating his golf clubs to his caretaker. He even found a way to give back when his mother died.
He left a $1,000 gift to St. Jude to help the children of St. Jude's with money that she had left him.
Kevin is now on end-of-life hospice care. He's suffered strokes and his body racked from surgeries. 2 new chemotherapies haven't helped his latest relapse.
And my surgeon said I could do surgery, but I don't know what the outcome is.
He knows that he's going to be in a much better place, and it's a time of celebration for us.
Despite this, he's continuing to give back. His birthday wish raised $28,000 for St. Jude, $1,000 for every year of his life. He hopes it helps other children from asking the questions he's asked for 28 years.
They can't find cures for why they keep coming back, why the cancers keep coming back. I keep my hopes up.